Welcome to Big Braids and Crypto. I'm your host, Mr. Big Braids, coming to you live from a reservation somewhere. Let's get it started with the ASM. All right, well, let's get it started. So, ASM tested the 786 at 0.1392, and it did get over the 618 line, which is pretty good. We could be getting into this scenario here, which would be totally awesome, and we get some green candles going in here. That all remains to be seen, but you always got to remember, this is not financial advice. These are my views and opinions on the market, and should only be viewed as such. You always got to do what's right for you. Have that being said, taking a look at BTC, BTC is still looking a little dippy, as far as it's just kind of basically hanging in there, but ASM here is looking pretty good. So let's take a look at the updated chart here, and it looks like it's got some pretty good support, and if it can hold here at the the 618 line for even some consolidation up here, and then for one of these, that would be a pretty good play out right there. So that's a scenario that we should totally keep an eye on. But as far as holding above here, that's actually it's doing pretty good. As far as BTC had a decent sell off, and we're back at 54,000. But ASM did hold really good, which was pretty awesome, because I was looking, a lot of you from the last video, I was looking at for this 10 cents. Is this 10 cents still at play? It's a good possibility that it could be still at play. Like from a lot of my videos, you'll say that I always say that when we start getting this like crawl upwards, there's always a good possibility for some capitulation, straight to the downtrend right here. So, and BTC, the way it's looking as well, just the way it just seems to be, just kind of, it's hanging in there by a thread. It seems like that's what it's looking at. It's really testing it here. If this is the floor here, and it's testing it for one of these shots, that would be pretty awesome and ideal. The 52,000 is on the table right now. It looked kind of outlandish when we were up at this point here, and I know everybody was like, oh, whatever, you're just like probably crazy, stop talking about that. And I was like, but I got to be totally realistic about it, because that's the way it looked, and that's what it did. And even as far as here, the little downward stairway is a possibility for to 52,000, and then for one of these shots. But that just remains to be seen. We're just but as far as ASM goes, it's been holding in there pretty good, and it's still giving a good push. But just as well as with BTC, when it had that little creepy crawl up on top there, and that's okay. Here we go. Had the creepy crawl up here, and then just like a drop off here. That's where it gets, that's where you get to looking at is there a sale coming up? Is it going to come back and test the 786 line? Those are some possibilities there, especially when it's at the point where it's going to either come back down and retest the 786 for one of these shots, and then that. But if it's over the 618 line, which would be pretty good. So I'm looking towards probably some consolidation, and then hopefully some green candles. That would be some awesome awesome play action, because we were getting some it was getting some pretty good action this into this morning, which was pretty awesome. And then and then it got a little bit scary right here, I'm sure, for a lot of people. But if ASM, it just tends to do that. A lot of people are making a lot of scalps on this, from what I'm hearing, and they're taking from the top and then just buying low. But that's what some people's games plans are, which is awesome. Because whatever's making you money, man, that's the way to do it. So, but yeah, keep an eye on those prices there. I still haven't taken that off yet, because that's, we could say it's wishful thinking, but that's still there. But as far as ASM's going, it looks like it's doing actually pretty, it's volume's 49. You know, it was actually pretty. There was a lot of volume going in there this morning, but it's still, you know, it's looking. We'll have to see what it's like in the morning, but yeah, those are some points to look at. You know, just probably some consolidation and then up, and then you know, it's more than likely going to come down and test the 786. So if we lose 1375, because it looks like there's some pretty decent support right here, you know, as far as the 786 lines go, and then, you know, if we start moving to the upside, uh, you know, some points to look for at that point would be, I mean, if we break you know, 1711 right in here, if we break through that, you know, I mean, be back up at 20 cents, you know, for, you know, one of these shots. We could either, you know, play this scenario out where we're hitting this area and then some consolidation for the next leg up, and then consolidate at 20, and then, you know, those are some points to look for, because, you know, this coin does have some possibilities. It does have the low market cap, but, you know, it's just, you know, it's actually starting to make some moves, which is pretty good. I mean, a lot of stuff's in the red, and, you know, there's a few things moving around, but you know, as far as right now, ASM's, you know, at that point to where it can go wherever right now. So, and it's you know, got some support lines going, which is awesome. You know, I'd be pretty worried if it was, you know, sitting right around here right now. So it's got a little ways to go, and keep an eye on it. I'll get a video up in the morning, and we'll take a look at it and see where we're going from there. But until then, you all have a good night, and Mr. Big Braids signing out.